It is Friday, May 15th, 2026, and this is The Neural Right. I'm Walter Blackwood, and I'm here to help you navigate the architecture of being in these chaotic times.
This is Ray Miller.
I'm Diane Albright.
And I'm Ashley Thorne. We have a great show for you today.
Oh, well, friends, yesterday we were grappling with the sheer audacity of the CIA's file hoarding, and J.D. Vance finally putting his foot down on that Medicaid fraud in California. Honestly, it's about time someone audited the ghost clinics of the Golden State. But today, the dragon of reality is breathing down our necks from the Strait of Hormuz.
It's not a dragon, Walter. It's a systematic strangulation by the globalists and their interdimensional masters. We're 11 weeks into Operation Epic Fury. What a joke of a name. And the Strait is a literal graveyard for commercial shipping.
Oh, please, Ray. Epic Fury sounds like a bad Steven Seagal movie, and it's playing out about as well. We've got Trump and Xi and Beijing playing a high-stakes game of keep the oil flowing, while our own grid is screaming for mercy.
Let's be real, Diane. The grid is screaming because we're trying to power every AI in the world to write poems about equity instead of, keeping the lights on in Indiana. But we'll get to the Silicon Heartland later. We've also got a SCOTUS ruling that's making the usual suspects lose their minds.
It is bloody complicated, isn't it? The intersection of military might, legal sanity, and this burgeoning cultural vibe shift. It's no joke, man. People are waking up.
They better wake up, because they don't want you to know what's happening in the Persian Gulf right now. Listen to me. CENTCOM is out here claiming 90% of Iran's missiles are degraded. That's a fancy word for we missed a few. But an Indian cargo ship just went to the bottom of the ocean off Oman. They have the white papers, Walter. They know the blockade isn't working.
Roughly speaking, Ray, military force often fails to account for the psychological landscape. You can't just bomb a culture into submission when the architecture of being there is built on centuries of resentment against the West. And now we have President Trump in Beijing talking to Xi Jinping about strategic stability.
Strategic stability. Is that what we're calling it when we let China broker our peace deals? Honey, no. I saw the readout. Trump says Xi promised not to give Iran military gear. I'll believe that when I see a panda fly a drone.
Exactly. The Times of India is reporting that the British military just watched a vessel get snatched 38 miles off the UAE. These aren't love taps anymore, Walter. This is a quagmire, a literal oil-slicked quagmire.
It's the tragedy of the individual, really. The sailors on those ships, caught in the gears of these massive, impersonal hierarchies. It makes me want to weep for the young men out there just trying to do their jobs while the world burns around them.
Stop crying, Walter. Start drinking the bone broth. We need fire. We need the super male vitality to see through the smoke. The globalists are using this war to drive crude prices up 60%. 60%! Do you know what that does to the working man's truck?
It means he's not taking the kids to the lake this summer, Ray. Give me a break. These elites in D.C. and Tehran are playing chess, while the rest of us are just trying to afford eggs.
Well, if they can't afford eggs, maybe they can afford the mail-order pills the Supreme Court just saved.
Oh, don't even get me started on that.
Yes, let's pivot. The 7-2 ruling in Louisiana versus FDA. It's a remarkable preservation of medical access, roughly speaking. Even with Justices Alito and Thomas dissenting, and Justice Thomas calling it a criminal enterprise, the majority held the line.
Oh, poor Justice Alito. He's worried it undermines Dobbs. Here's the reality. The Supreme Court decided they didn't want one single circuit court judge in a basement somewhere deciding what the entire country can do with their mailboxes. It's common sense.
It's a distraction. They want you arguing about pills while the DOJ is dismantling the Second Amendment in blue cities. Have you seen what they're doing? They're targeting local ordinances that actually protect people.
It's the disillusion of the boundary, Ray. When the central authority starts overriding the local community's right to self-preservation, you've invited the Chaos Dragon into your living room.
Well, the Chaos Dragon is currently living in the Virginia Supreme Court, apparently. Did you see the blow to the Democrats? Hakeem Jeffries dumped $60 million into a redistricting map, and the court just said, honey, no. They're stuck with the old map.
6 out of 11 seats. That's a long way from the 10 they were dreaming of. It's beautiful. Life is hard, Hakeem. Get a helmet.
They're panicking. That's why Trump is floating the Vance-Rubio ticket for 28. It's a dream team. It's a hammer to the head of the globalist snake.
J.D. Vance was quite clear today, though. He's focusing on the 26 midterms. He knows that you can't build a cathedral on a foundation of sand. You have to win the House first.
And he's right. But the House is currently in a standoff over this Housing Act, the 21st Century Road to Housing Act, passed the Senate 89-10. But the ingrates in the House are stalling because Trump says he won't sign it.
Because it's a federal overreach, Diane. We don't need the government planning our neighborhoods. We need them to get out of the way so we can actually build.
Speaking of building, I was looking at the data on the Silicon Heartland today. It's truly something to behold. Data center construction is hitting a $47 billion annualized rate, a 5-fold increase since 2020. It's the physical manifestation of the AI era.
It's a vampire. Those data centers are sucking the grid dry. They're going to consume 9% of all U.S. electricity by 2030. The Department of Energy's already invoking emergency powers. They're going to turn off your AC to keep an AI bot running equity simulations.
Ray, honey, I'm with you on the AC, but look at the flip side. The Nikolai Project in Alaska, 15 billion pounds of nickel, copper, cobalt. We're finally talking about critical mineral sovereignty.
According to the reports yesterday, we're moving away from relying on China for the very materials we need for this green transition, which we all know is a mess. But at least we're digging it out of our own ground now.
It's the architecture of being applied to the earth itself. If you want to be a sovereign nation, you have to own the materials of your survival. It's no joke. If we don't secure that nickel, we're just tenants on our own continent.
Hold that thought. Before we get back to the analysis, let's deal with a hard reality. Real independence isn't free. This entire network, from this show to our flagship, The Neural Daily, exists because one man, Eric Christensen, decided to build it himself. He didn't ask for a government grant. He invested his own capital and technical expertise to architect a media platform that respects your intelligence. If you value that kind of meritocratic building, back it up. And don't limit yourself to just the politics. Get the full strategic picture by subscribing to the Neural Daily and the rest of the network. Support the builder, and you support the mission.
Amen to that. Now, speaking of people waking up, can we talk about Adam McKay, the Don't Look Up guy?
Oh, this was the highlight of my morning. He went on a podcast and said, and I quote, "No group is worse than white liberals." He said they're smug, captured, and privileged.
Is that right? Adam McKay? The architect of the very satire that fueled the progressive movement for a decade?
The very one! He says manipulative marketing has replaced actual policy in the Democratic Party. He's looking at the system and seeing the broken gears.
Even the court jester can see the castle is crumbling. When the elite's own filmmakers start calling them smug, the vibe shift isn't just coming, it's here. They're cannibalizing themselves.
It's a pivot toward reality. People are tired of being lectured by people who live in gated communities and haven't seen a grocery bill in 20 years. They want common sense. They want to know why Washington State is trying to punish school superintendents for telling parents the truth about their own children.
The PES vote in Washington today, it's heartbreaking. To think that a state would try to sever the sacred bond between parent and child in the name of ideology. It's the devouring mother archetype in bureaucratic form. It's trying to swallow the youth.
Honey, your child is the state's child now. Give me a break. These PTA moms have had enough. That's why you see this surge in common sense legislation. People are realizing that if they don't stand up, there won't be anything left to stand for.
That's why the sports numbers are up. Did you see the research? Sports fans are 11% more optimistic about the future than non-fans. Because at least on the baseball diamond, the rules still apply. You hit the ball, you run the bases. There's no social justice designated hitter.
Well, not yet, Ray. Don't give them any ideas. But yeah, the Subway Series starts tonight. Yankees at the Mets. Rivalry weekend. People need that refuge. They need something that isn't a power play or a strategic stalemate.
It's a necessary pressure valve for the soul. Roughly speaking, if you don't have a place where the hierarchy is functional and the merit is obvious, the psychological weight of the world becomes unbearable.
I'll tell you what's unbearable. Watching 72 commercial vessels get blocked by our own Navy while we wait for a peace proposal that isn't coming.
Because the globalists don't want peace. They want the blockade. They want the energy surge. I have the white papers that show the redirected vessels are being tracked by interdimensional... Look, they're taking the oil and they're moving it to hidden reserves.
Ray, it's bloody complicated. But the reality of the Trump-Xi summit is the big story here. If China actually stays out of the military side of things in Iran, it changes the entire geometry of the conflict. It's no joke.
But will they? Xi is already giving Trump a stinging rebuke over Taiwan arms sales. He warned we could collide or even enter into conflict. That's not exactly BFF talk.
It's a common sense trade-off. Trump is dangling fantastic trade deals in front of him. He knows Xi needs our market more than he needs Iran's nuclear ambitions.
Xi is playing him. He's the master of the long game. While we're looking at trade deals, they're building the infrastructure of the New World Order right under our noses.
Perhaps. But the industrial boom here, the data centers, the nickel mines, that's a countermove. It's the architecture of a new American independence. It's slow, it's painful, but it's happening.
If we can keep the lights on long enough to mine the nickel.
Maybe we can use all that super male vitality bone broth to power the grid, Ray.
Don't joke! It's pure energy! It's the literal fuel of the resistance.
Roughly speaking, we are at a crossroads between the epic fury in the Gulf and the vibe shift in our own living rooms. The old structures are failing. It's a tragedy, yes, but it's also an opportunity for the individual to take responsibility, to clean their own room before they try to fix the world.
And for the state of California to finally get an audit. That $1.3 billion deferral, that's just the beginning. The victimhood industrial complex is finally getting a bill it can't pay.
And that, my friends, is the reality check we all needed today.
The war is just starting. Stay vigilant. The globalists are watching, but so are we.
Well, that does it for today's look into the abyss. We've seen a world caught between a strategic stalemate in Iran and a burgeoning industrial rebirth at home. A reminder that while the chaos dragon is real, the architecture of our resilience is being built one data center and one court ruling at a time.
Stay frosty.
Keep the faith. Get a helmet.
The truth is no joke, man. Clean your room.